and what parts you can use, even if it's temporarily, because you got to use anything that's useful.
Right.
And anything that's not useful, you discard that shit. This is why we say no more GMOs in the food,
And
right?
mhm.
So they burning down the factories that making the GMO food. One of Gates' motherfucking manufacturing facilities just burned up overseas yesterday. You know, so we not watching those little events like that, like Rome on fire. You know, the time, the date, what's going on in the world politically, what's going on across the land socially, right? If you don't pay attention to that stuff, you can't see it. But if you see it, the people that's not paying attention is going to say that you don't see what you're telling them because they can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the glasses on.
Yeah. You
And somebody said, don't forget to read that card.
know,
You must have
there
pulled,
wasn't
you
there
pulled a
wasn't no
card.
yeah, I have been. You know, just when like I was talking, stuff was coming out confirming, but he hasn't asked a question, y'all. But I hope y'all listening to what he's saying, because that's the thing. It's like, you know, the road is narrow, and the reason why they say that is because y'all attention span, even my attention span, I'll come home knowing I need to do some shit and stay on Instagram. Like, how prepared are you? How prepared are you? Because and how right are you with spirit? How light is your heart? Because there's a time and a place for everything. And don't think that you know what really fucks with me is when people think they're supposed to be covered by grace when they doing all kind of wrong shit.
Well, you know, that's just narcissism at its finest.
But that's that
I can
inaccountability.
fuck over, look, I'm fucking over everybody I come across talking about unprotected.
Right. And then get mad when you get stabbed or you know what I'm saying, you trip and break your arm. What? God didn't have me. No, you didn't have God.
Flat out. Flat out. So we need to go back to where we didn't have nursing homes. If one of the aunties couldn't take care of herself, she'd go out to Big Mama house.
Yes.
And then the teenage girls that was learning health care would be they CNAs that take care of them because they family, they ain't gonna mistreat them.
Yeah, they'll be over there, and then you soaking up all of that game.
Yeah.
Like you getting all of that, all of those lessons. You know, when elders like you think they repeating themselves or they just running off at the mouth. That's spirit speaking to you. That's a lesson.
Yep.
That's lessons. You know, the best way to learn something is through somebody else's experience, so you don't have to go through the hardship. So when you hear
That's the way.
people
That's called the way of the wise.
So when you hear people sharing their personal story, instead of making fun of them and talking shit, actually listen to the lesson. And a lot of y'all laugh or make fun of people when they being vulnerable and really missing the blessing that is coming to save your ass. I need to be more compassionate. I'm not being compassionate because the reason why I'm talking like that is I'm talking to myself.
Look, you care. Look, that's segment.
Yeah, I'm talking. You know.
Segment ain't gonna look. Segment got look. Y'all gotta straighten the fuck up. That's what segment tell them.
You know.
I don't got time to be trying to burp you and give you a pacifier. Get your motherfucking ass off your motherfucking pity party horse. Get your ass in the fight. You part of this shit, whether you want to be or not. So you might as well pick up your motherfucking banner and march with the motherfuckers that's gonna be victorious because they on the move. That's what segment gonna tell them.
Get it together, like 702 said. We have to get it together. And you know, the one thing that irks my nerves is when we claim royalty, royalty, royalty. It's in our DNA. We got magic, and ain't nothing magical about none of the shit that you do.
Yeah, no, nothing magical and nothing regal.
Nothing.
Got no etiquette whatsoever.
No code, no respect, nothing.
Yeah.
But what you said was so true. If you are able to connect with your family, if you still have elders that are living, because this was an attack like on the elders, just really on all of us, but really attack on our elders, because when history is lost, the younger generation is lost. And a lot of my generation is still trying to live their younger days. So that grandma and grandpa shit is kind of far fetched or hard to find because they trying to relive their youth. So we have to take our position as elders and really settle down in our lives and in our hearts and in our minds. And we have to open up to the lessons that we share with each other. And we got to connect with our family again if you can. If you can make your wrongs right, if you can make amends, do it. If you don't, if you can't, pray about it. Ask for forgiveness. Ask to be led to figure out how to change and how to elevate and how to be the
And
best you
listen,
possible.
the secrets of prayer, since we on Oracle Connection, is the first understanding is that you talking to your higher consciousness, and your higher consciousness is your direct telephone line to Prime Source Creator. You can't send your higher self to get an answer and Source don't give it to him. The problem is when you get done with the prayer, that's when you have to, as they say in the church, let go and let God.
Right.
Right? You got to let your higher self in the universe work out the problems that's too complicated for you to work out, but you work out the ones within your control.
Yeah.
So you make the microcosm flips the macrocosm. If you control the ones you can, the ones you can't, the universe control for you.
You are giving big gems. That's a big
Right. And don't close your prayer by saying Amen, because that's telling the force of the God to keep it a secret. And if you keep it a secret, then it's kept sacred. That means you can't access it in the mundane.
what's the meaning of Amin? Because I say Amin or Ashe.
It comes from Amen or Amun, and it means the unknown aspect of God, but it's an alchemically charged name, and it has the direct energetic effect on whatever it is that you're sealing with Amen. That means that you saying the prayer, but you blocking it at the end. You
Right.
keeping it a secret.
Like God got
And
caller
because
ID and
it's
an answer in
sacred,
the phone or something.
right. So because it's kept sacred, you can't manifest it in a mundane, because the mundane is the profane. The sacred cannot be accessed in the profane. So when you tell your higher self to Amen, keep it a secret, that means keep it sacred. That means save it for my next life because I ain't gonna access it this one.
Hmm.
You actually putting yourself in a personal conjure, but you don't know it.
So in let's say in relevance to people who say it without that knowledge that you just gave, then
Right.
their
So
ignorance
they got
provides the grace,
accumulated,
right?
yeah. So they got accumulated energy built up in what you, the lack of a better way of putting it, I'll say prayer credit.
Hmm.
All you did was recorded all your shit in the universal mind because you did nothing in order to make it surface in the physical world. Right. Now, some people know how to use the energy by doing certain stuff in the physical world that activates the prayer energy that was kept sacred.
Right. Because the power
Right.
of intention sometimes can,
Right. Right. So this is what those prayer groups, what we call prayer warriors in the church,
mhm,
they used to be the ones who held the secret to making the prayer manifest in short order by using the 369 science of the sisters.
mhm,
That all of that got to be re-taught to y'all.
mhm. Yeah, prayer was sacred. Prayer was
Yeah.
you.
But
Yeah.
prayer is the uh, talking to the creator.
Mhm.
Meditation is listening.
Mhm.
if you don't meditate, you won't never get your answer.
That's why sometimes you need to stop having all them distractions. Sometimes you got to shut that music off because we're people that love like music. We're people who love distractions. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes.
Yeah, but we can also learn how to use those things as facilitators.
Oh, for sure.
But we have to be also willful minded that that's what we're using it for.
Yes.
If we don't attach that to it, we can't use it for that purpose.
Yes, correct. I like.
Right. So people be saying, "What's the meaning of life?" Right? We hear it all the time. Ain't got none till you give it one.
Mm-hmm.
Life has no meaning until you give it a meaning. Has no value until you value it. If you have no value for life, then your life has no value to yourself. You know, you are running what you call an errant course. Right. So the best thing to do is to always keep in mind to follow the golden rule. If you don't want nobody to mistreat you, don't mistreat nobody. Each one teach one. We all gonna reach some.
Love thy neighbor like you thy love thyself.
Yeah. Don't love your enemy though. No. But you better damn well respect that motherfucker, or he gonna run roughshod over you.
Yeah.
That's what it should have said. Respect your enemy, not love that motherfucker.
Respect it enough to keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, because once you respect them, that means that you got enough understanding to know the danger that it is to fuck with this particular enemy, and for you to overcome that enemy, it requires you to have a certain level of insight that supersedes what they're capable of doing to overthrow you. But by you being respectful of their position and their power, now you put yourself into the position like Aikido to deflect it and use their energy against them, as opposed to allowing them to use it to subjugate you. Right? In this particular case, the sister's taking a ball and going home, gonna shut this bitch down. But it's gonna happen in waves. It's already started, so it's just a matter of when.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
All right, I'm about to wrap this one up. I'm getting tired now. I'm ready to lay my butt down.
Yes. Well, have a great rest. Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
You taught me so much. You're always sharing so much. So I thank God for continuously protecting you and blessing you and giving you provision and all of the good things. So until we speak again.
I think you're trying to make me blush.
No, I'm giving homage and paying respect. All right.
Yeah, that's gonna make me blush.
Oh, you are red Indian. You got red tone. All right.
Yeah, I'm ready red for real.
Right.
Yeah. All right, sweetie. I'm gonna talk back to y'all later. I'm about to exit out of this one.
Okay.
All right. So, just wanted to cash some receipts, go over a little understanding of tuning in the tarot or the oracle read in order to fine tune that shit. Now I'm getting a little exhausted because Big Mama had me doing physical labor, which I'll be doing some more tomorrow. But it got to be done in order to get where we're trying to go. So it is what it is, but it was what it was, and now it's gonna be what it's gonna be. So peace out, everybody. Unity, fam.
The dictators of the society can, how well they can control it. You need to control the arts and the entertainment the same as you do the economics. It's basic military strategy 101. The more aspects of the enemy's life you control, the more of the enemy you control. Therefore, he's no longer your enemy. He's your subject now.
Can I interject this too? when they see us getting to a certain level in the music and they see how it reacts to us, like for instance, this whole thing that you've been coming out with, telling us to reclaim our identity, and when we reclaim our identity, the land comes with it and all that. It's just as easy as and everybody's making it seem hard because everybody's divided in their own thing. Realize that if we just go ahead and get together and say reclaim our identity, we can and reclaim the land. We can iron all of the division stuff out later. You know, once we evict these people, these Enlil's children and their little people that see Enlil's children as their overlords. But what Enlil's children have seen with our development, just talk about the music. They seen us get on certain levels with the music. Like for instance, if we're in a group, just in a big hall, we waiting around, and somebody throw on a James Brown record, everybody's going to come together on the one. They're going to come together on the one. All the organic people.
It's yo, hit me on the one.
And the same thing if they put on Bob Marley,
yeah,
they're going to come together on the one. So you see, that is how easy it is for us to reclaim our identity. If we come together on the one without thinking about all these division things and all of these things that we're going to implement, we can get that later. But getting back to the music, I have seen where the music was going on when it was getting so advanced. Certain artists, like you said, Scott Joplin or John Coltrane or Diz or Duke Ellington, and the music was affecting us in such a way we were elevating and raising, right? And when they seen that, that's when they would go ahead and put their labels on it, just like saying Lucifer is evil, or like saying the Ankh is evil sign, or the eyes are all seeing. They take everything that is good and they make it look evil, and everything that is bad they make it look good. Evil.
So whose strategy is it? So when you put the strategy like to the strategist, it's a military strategy. Exactly what you said, and it's also codified in the written record of the earth. It's in the Quran. So if they want to make evil fair seeming, whose job it is to make evil fair seeming is whose text it'll be in. In this case, it's Ninursin. Because Ninursin is Allah who overthrew Allah. The brother who overthrew the sister of the moon. They talking moon magic. This takes us back to what Young Yoda was talking about with the blood and the vampires earlier. The moon magic of Ninursin is the Babylonian systems of magic that stems from the Kabbalistic tree. For every one of the sephras of the Kabbalistic tree is a realm of your life that a magic conjure can control if they tie you into a psychic form, a thought form, an egregore. So they created the egregore Allah to tie you into that thought form so that they can control your output.
Exactly. Labels.
Right. But the reason why you need to know what Ninursin is the one who's telling you he gonna make evil fair seeming. Right? This is what his edict is. That's his strategy. Make evil look like it's the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So now we believe we get in the story that all of the shit that's gonna really empower us is evil.
Right.
That go right back to what you were just saying. It's an all well orchestrated plan.
Mm-hmm. Every time you get an inkling, it's like if they showed the movie Star Wars or Lost or Star Trek or any of those with a black cast, it was that it's science fiction because remember that's so they always, that's one way they do it. They'll change the character. Why they change the characters? They're changing the characters because they don't want to activate your DNA. They don't want you to see that you're Darth Vader and you Luke Skywalker.
Alter egos.
Right. Yeah.
I've been telling everybody that the Joker is Batman. All of the people, the villains in the Batman, are all of the alter egos of the schizophrenic Dick. What's his name? Master Dick, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is in Arkham Asylum the whole time. That's why it's always dark in Gotham.
Ain't that something?
It's always dark in Gotham. Ain't no sunshine in Gotham because he's in a mental institution going through the dark night of the soul. And all of those villains is the shadow work he's doing to face his alter ego. Which, am I going to be the Riddler today or am I going to be Batman? The Batman is the one who can navigate through the sound in the darkness. Because he's using sonar to navigate. Right? Whereas all of the villains use different faculties. Right? Then they're clicking up on him. That means all of his dark forces is coming together to form an alliance against him. So all of those alter egos is what Batman got to conquer in order to get back to the mansion and be Bruce Wayne again.
Right. That is so awesome. And when you were talking about the shadow work thing, and yeah, that metaphor about the mat and the weighing the feather against your heart, it does make you focus on the fact that the things that you gotta get rid of is the things that weigh heavy on your heart.
Absolutely.
And you know what I'm saying? That was like one of the most excellent. I don't know what to say because everybody's always saying Egyptian, but I know that's all Nubia. A metaphor that never came out.
Listen, all over the world, including the motherland, Africa, all over the world, who is known for the feathers? When you think about feathers in the culture,
yeah.
That's facts. Man, all of them.
Organic people of the land.
Yeah, I showed that.
Okay, now watch this. Watch this. Why is you trying to measure your heart, weigh your heart against the feather instead of a fez?
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen. This is God talk here.
Go ahead.
The reason why you can't use a fez to weigh against your heart, because that's only the little 720 degrees of earth knowledge as above, so below.
Right.
That you had, and you probably ain't even spent your tassel all the way around 360 at the top to get your highest degree, and you walking around in the elementary level red fez. You ain't graduated yet.
Exactly.
You ain't graduated yet. So you can't weigh an adolescent's heart against an adult's heart. The adolescent got the opportunity to make all of the mistakes he want to make. The adult doesn't have that luxury. So you can't hold and condemn the youth until he becomes experienced enough to know better. Now he can be reprimanded. That's